Okay, I think I have this figured out. I hope I have this figured out. I apologize. Probably mostly user error. I ended up switching back to Old Faithful, which was my old cell phone. I don't know what the issue is on this phone, which is my new phone. This is a Samsung. The darn thing has 3 cameras on the back of it, but apparently you can't live stream horizontally. So every time I would go to do it this way, so that everything wasn't vertical, it was giving me serious problems, and it would end the video, and it was just an absolute nightmare. So I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. I will figure it out, but I figured, you know what? For those that actually are on time and want to see this live stream, let's just go back to Old Faithful, which is what we're doing now. So please let me know if this is now horizontal and everything's fine. That's what we need to know. So let me know. So I figured we'd start out this live stream video. Sorry, there's a bunch of things that are now popping up on this phone since I haven't turned this phone on forever. Good Lord, what a train wreck of a live stream. This is why I don't do live streams for all of my model reviews, but hey, at least it'll be entertaining, right? So this is the Nzg Cat A25 Compactor in 1/50th scale. I believe the real 825, the A version or the main version, the first one, came out in around 1974, 1975, something like that. This is actually the B version, although the box doesn't stipulate or say that anywhere on there. Again, that's not too unusual for older Nzg models, especially like the first couple years that they make a new one. Like a lot of times you'll see, I know they did this with the 325s, so a lot of times you'll see like the 325C version and a 325B box. So here's another case of that. At any rate, it's the B version of the model and the regular version of the box. There you can see it. 825. There you go. Compactor. And there's the Block C or Pac-Man logo. I believe we were on the contest of who is the first viewer who could come up with, since this says right here. There we go, right here. Made in West Germany, so you can kind of get a gauge of just how old this model is. So the first person to guess what year of German unification, what year the wall came down, gets bonus brownie points for me. Easy for me to say. So let me know down in the comment section below. All right, let's get this thing out of the box. And of course, we open it upside down. This is going just absolutely perfectly. So here's the exhaust stack that you can put on if you want. Also, make sure if you're buying these from like a seller on eBay, make sure you look for the exhaust stack. Make sure it's in the listing. He has a picture of it, because you certainly don't want to invest a lot of money in one of these only for it not to include this, unless you plan on making one yourself. And here it is. So yes, I did buy this from a seller on eBay, so I have no idea how many owners previously owned this thing. But for the most part, it's in pretty decent condition. There are some noticeable paint chips, particularly on the dozer blade of the compactor. But considering its age, especially if this thing came out in the mid to late 70s, since it's the B version, or even in the 1980s, it's in remarkably good condition, and it's good enough for me. So as I get the packaging out of the way, we will pause to bring up chat. Daniel has joined the group. I'd say that the model is from about 82. The wall came down in 1991. Kind of. You're close. Very, very close. But yes, so that's the model. Excuse me. A little bit of indigestion bothering me, apparently. So yes, I think it looks pretty good. The shade of cat yellow is very, very close. I think it's pretty dead on accurate. It's got a lot of hefty weight to it, which I like. A lot of these old Nzg models have some hefty weight to it. The decals themselves, again, for the age, pretty darn good. You can see right here if I bring it close enough. Let me know if that's out of focus. You're not going to have the greatest quality for live streams, so bear that in mind. But it does read 825B. You can see that there. Hold on, let me check live stream again. I did see a couple more come up. Here we go. Oh, Lucas Wiles just said hi. Daniel, you are off a little bit on the wall on the year that the wall came down, but you're not off by much. So I will give you a little bit of time to correct your answer. You're not off by much, but you're off by a little. Anyway, back to this model. You can see the paint chips throughout. There's a big one here across the articulation joint. There's another one here. There's several on the blade. There's a couple here along the wear plating detail on it. Again, nothing that I care that terribly much about. And you can move the dozer blade down and up. And surprisingly, the cylinders are still stiff enough to hold that in a good spot. All right, should we put the exhaust stack on? See how that looks? By the way, thank you to all those that have stuck with us, and particularly me, as I tried to get the live stream going on the new phone. Obviously, that was a total disaster. But hey, what are you going to do? So there's a hole right here. Hopefully you can see that. And you can put the exhaust in like this. Or if you wanted to, you can maybe put it in like this. Technically, either way is correct. I've seen Cat A25Bs with the exhaust both ways. Really just depends on what you want to do. And it's nice that it will fit both ways, whichever way you want. So that is the Nzg Cat A25B Soil Compactor. Again, a pretty hefty model. For those that like seeing the base, there you go. Nzg, made in West Germany. I also have the, and this is absolutely destroyed. You can thank my cat for that, who knocked this off a shelf a couple years ago. You can see that, yeah, not good. This is the Joel 825B, so we will do some comparing and contrasting. It's always fun, right? So this is the Joel one. You can see that this one has the exhaust up on here, which I guess is another plausible situation for the exhaust, if you wanted to do that. I'm assuming. I kind of like mine here, so we're just going to leave it like this. That way it's easy to differentiate at a distance the two. Nzg and Joel. You can see that there is a noticeable difference in color. Also, the Nzg one has a lot more heft or weight to it. But really, in truth, they're about the same size. I wouldn't say that there's a lot of difference. And they both articulate. They both have a working dozer blade. One thing I do like about the Joel one over the Nzg one, actually, is the fact that the air cleaner is a separate part and it's painted, which looks particularly good. And I like that although they are plastic, the forward-facing lights, again, are a different color. And they look a little bit better to me, anyway, than the forward-facing lights on the Nzg version. But you guys let me know at this point. Let me go ahead and bring up the chat, get caught up. Lucas says he is still watching this channel. Well, thank you, Lucas. I appreciate that. Daniel says, do you have the 215 Cat excavator? No, that is actually one model I am actively pursuing to add to my collection. I hope that I can find one. Mason, Masonic Agent Film, has joined the conversation. Hello, Masonic Agent. Thank you for joining. And thank you for the super chat yesterday and joining us for the live stream yesterday. Cash Rules asks if these are 1/64, so he must be just joining the video now, which I appreciate. No, these both are in 1/50th scale, so 1/50th scale is significantly larger than 1/64th scale. I actually get this question a lot. People will send me messages. Is 1/50th scale comparable with 1/64 scale or vice versa? In my opinion, the answer is no. So if you have like a 1/64 scale low boy and you want to put some 1/50th scale equipment on it, my opinion, the scale difference is just too big to make things look accurate. But that's my opinion. Again, I'm a collector of over 30 years, so I can pick that stuff up immediately. Again, if you're just starting out and you just have a 1/64 scale low boy truck and you happen to find a 1/50th scale model that you want to put it on, hey, it's your collection. You do what you want. But no, there's plenty of variety out there in both scales that you should be able to get something comparable in the same scale that looks good. All right, so enough about that. You've seen these 825s. Again, both of them are B models, B for Bravo. The only other 825 that I have currently in my collection is a Norscot original, which is this one. This is the 825H Soil Compactor. This was the original release, I believe 2006. Let's see how wrong I am. Yep, 2006, right here. This is the... This one is actually quite rare, and the only reason for that is they only did this trade dress for 1 year, which is the same year that the model came out. And then in 2007, every other year, including 2007 of this model, was done in the Power Edge and not the Power Stripe. You can see that. So this one is actually quite rare, and mine is still sealed. I've actually never opened this, and I don't plan on it. Okay. I think that's enough for compactors for right now. I'm going to open up the floor. We have 10 people in the room at the moment. I'm going to open up the floor to you guys. Anything scale model related is fair game. You guys can ask me questions on things you would like to see. We can bring things out. Really anything, as long as it's related to Diecast, is fair game. So please send me some questions. And hopefully we can get enough good conversation going to keep this live stream going for a while. All right, I did see a couple things pop up. So yes, Cash Rules agree with me when we're going back and alluding to the 150th scale versus 164 scale conversation. Yes, 150th scale is a little bit bigger. Lucas says, you know, there's some on Google. If you look it up and go through images, you'll see a lot of 215s. Yeah, I know there's a lot on Google. There's one in particular that I'm after. I kind of like to keep the NZG models to the time period that they came out. A lot of the 215s that are available have the 90s cat trade dress. I know there were some in the real world, but I would really like to get a 215 in the 70s or 80s pyramid scheme. So or the Block C logo, as everybody likes to call it, the Pac-Man logo. So there's a lot on Google, yes. I know DHS has some in their vintage collection, or the whatever that collection that they bought out, that the models are, unpopular opinion, ridiculously overpriced. But yeah, I'm looking for one that's the right price and with the right trade dress that I would like to get. So yeah, I know there's a lot out there, but I'm not interested in spending $150 for a model that isn't worth it. Okay, Darren. Hello, Darren. That's a new name. Thank you for joining the live stream. Do I have any DJB dump trucks? I do not have any. I've never even heard of DJB dump trucks. Daniel, didn't Norscot change their packaging in 2006? They changed their packaging in 2007, so the same year that Cat changed their trade dress. I will bring out an example to show you, just because it's easy, right here. So you can see that instead of, get this out of the way, instead of their standard styrofoam packaging that they've had for years, really since 1998 when they started producing Cat models, this is the package that they've had for a number of years. You can see the white styrofoam, the clear window, the predominantly yellow box with the black line and the Cat logo inside that. They went from this to this all the way until the middle of 2015 when they lost their license and they were required by Diecast Masters. So yes, 2007 was the first year for the new boxes as well. Good point, Daniel. Thanks for bringing that up. Let me put these back real quick. Again, please submit your questions or suggestions. I don't know when the next time I'm going to have to do one of these, so this is really your opportunity. So anything is, as long as it's model related, is fair game. Okay, Lucas, he says he's expanded his collection of 164 scale vehicles. That's very cool. What are some that you've recently picked up? I would like to see them. Darren says Cat took them over, so they had an Arctic dumper back then. An articulated dumper, excuse me. I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the Nzg dumper that looked a lot like the Cat D40? I think I know what you're talking about. I actually had an opportunity to purchase that model, and I regret that I didn't pick it up, but the seller wanted a stupid amount of money for it. And because technically it wasn't Cat, I wasn't really keen on picking it up, especially paying up for it as much as he wanted to. But I have never seen one since then, so that was kind of a mistake. But yes, I think I know what you're talking about. Matter of fact, the one good thing about filming this on my old phone is I have my current phone to bring up pictures. Nzg dump truck. Hold on. So I will verify this to see if this is what you're talking about. So bear with me one moment here. So let's see. Okay. So is this what you were talking about? Because yes, that is something I should have gotten, but I didn't. And I believe eventually that did become part of Cat's articulated truck design. Okay, enough about that. The Random has joined. Hello, my friend. I hope you are doing well. He says, good morning. Any new Hot Wheels or Matchbox? Just tuned in. Honestly, in the past couple months, no, not really. I think the most recent Matchbox and Hot Wheels I've gotten has been on the channel already and uploaded. I'll see if I can dig anything out. Daniel, DJB was a company in England that made ADT designs based on Cat. Masonic Agent, was the Cat 14M motor grader released in 2006, or did Norscot release it? Well, Norscot definitely released it first. But typically, even today, when any scale model company releases a model, it's usually in direct correlation with the real piece of equipment. So, for example, later this year, you're going to see like the new Diecast Masters Cat D3 bulldozer, which is really the D5K, but we won't get into that. So that's because the nomenclature or the numerology, the numbering system of Cat bulldozers changed. So to coincide with that and to have a scale model representative of the real machine, they're going to release that as well. So hopefully that'll be out later this year or early part of next year. Also, the Fire Dozer looks really promising as well. I think that's a D5, though. Might be a D6. But yes, the 14 motor grader was, the 14M specifically, motor grader was originally a Norscot tooling. Diecast Masters did recycle that tooling and release it in the Highline series. I believe it is now in the Core Classics line, though. Darren, yes, they did a 275, a 300, and a 330. So it looks like that was the truck that I showed on the phone. It looks like that was the one he was talking about. All right, Lucas, thank you guys for all your comments and questions. Please keep them coming. We're only at 18 minutes. Feels like it's been an eternity because, you know, we had some technical difficulties. Again, user error on my end, I'm sure. One of the new models is a 1/64 scale Case 2594 that was based off the actual tractor that was manufactured from 1984 to 1988. Okay, I must have missed that. Lucas, are you referring to a farm tractor, or give me some context to what that comment is related to? All right. How much do you think the DM315 will be? Well, judging from the fact that pretty much nowadays you can't get an excavator for under $100, I would imagine it would probably be at least $100, but I haven't seen a price list. I haven't seen a shipping list, so honestly I have no idea. I do know that they will not be out by the end of this year, which is a bit disappointing, as they had to go through some additional revisions on the tooling before Cat was happy with it. So they're not going to be out by the end of this year. Long and short of it. And then Daniel says, what do you think of the new 315? To back that comment up. Again, I don't know because I don't have it here, and I would like to reserve my opinion until I have the opportunity to review it personally. I will say, judging from the pictures and things that I have seen about it, it looks like a decent model. But again, I have seen, over the years, I have seen some pictures and even some videos before, you know, I was able to get things in my hands that look spectacular. And then I was looking forward to a model super hardcore, and then I got it here, and it was less than stellar. So going to reserve judgment until I have the opportunity to get it here. All right, Lucas says he was referring to a farm tractor for the international case. I don't do much with farm tractors. I've never really been into farming. You'll find maybe a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of farming reviews on this channel. For a while there was a year where I thought I was going to position myself to be able to do a lot of farming reviews with a partner on this channel. It just didn't work out. So sorry about that, but you won't be seeing a lot of farming reviews on this channel. Maybe once in a very blue moon. Okay, Lucas says here, I'll send you a pic of all of his new models. Sounds good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get out a couple Matchbox stuff while you guys are sending me more questions for the random, as I like to call them, that sent me that question. So I will get out a couple of the new stuff, and you guys can keep sending me some thoughts and questions and suggestions. So this is one of my favorite new ones for 2022. I won't say it's brand new, but it's new for this year. This is a Ford C-Series. Does it say it's an 800? It's an 800. It's a Ford C-Series. Or 900, one of the two. And I love this cab-over design. It was in the basic range, which is surprising. But it is a very nice-looking truck. And I hope they do more with this. I hope they do different variations. Perhaps maybe, a fire engine, a pumper truck. Because there were a lot of Ford C-Series that ended up in the fire service. As you can see, Athern did a ton of them. Or Athern, depending on your pronunciation. So that would be cool. And as far as working rigs, this is, in my opinion, again, probably an unpopular opinion, but take it for what it is. This has really been a waste of a year for Matchbox for working rigs. There's been a lot of recycled toolings, a lot of recycled liveries. It's been pretty darn disappointing. I don't know if this was this year or last year, but this has been a favorite recent one, which is the Freightliner TV news truck. Let's see, what else do I have sitting around? Yeah, I mean, there's just been a lot of repaints, honestly, this year. Nothing that's been really spectacular. If I had to say that there was a favorite new tooling, I don't even know if this is a new tooling. We just haven't seen it in a long time. It would be this, which is the GMC. I like to call it a plane truck, the scissor truck that loads planes. There you go, and this comes out too. Again, you can see a better view of these on my channel. Just look up Matchbox for Working Rigs, Diecast Emporium. In the search, they will come up. But there you go. Those are some Matchbox ones for the gentleman that wanted to see them. All right, let's get caught back up on chat. All right, I am a salesman for a Cat dealer, and a lot of people call Cat equipment tractors. That is very true. Cat themselves calls Cat bulldozers track-type tractors. They always have. They always will. By the way, thank you for tuning in. That's a new viewer. I've never seen that name before, so thank you for spending some of your Sunday late afternoon with me, or early afternoon, I should say, late morning. Lucas says he sent me the picture, so thank you. I will check that after the live stream. The Random says thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you for watching my content. Masonic Agent says he thinks a fire truck would be cool. I think he's alluding to this, which was my suggestion for making this an engine, Ford C-Series. I agree. I think that would be awesome. Let's see. Do you think Cat will make an excavator Evolution series or Evolution series? Yes, I do. Honestly, I don't know why it hasn't been made already. I know that there's a lot of approval process that has to be gone through, but I personally would love to see a 235 or even a proper 225 made in 1/50th scale paired with a comparable size excavator of today. If you guys are frequent viewers of my channel and you've watched all of my Evolution series reviews, you know that they're one of my favorite series by Diecast Masters, and an excavator series would certainly top that off. I have heard absolutely nothing, and this is 100% the truth. I never lie to you guys. I have heard no talk that there is one in the works currently, but I have heard talk that they would eventually like to do one. There's just a lot of red tape that has to be approved and gone through. The Caterpillar approval process and marketing is tricky. It's very tricky. Okay, continuing. Ivory Johnson, that's also a new name. Thank you for watching and joining us. Just wanted to say I really like your videos and your honest, unbiased reviews. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really try to be unbiased, and I really try to be honest, because here's why. This is your money. You're watching this channel because, A, you like heavy equipment, but B, and more likely, You've looked up a scale model that you are in the market for and that you are looking to buy. And me, who's been collecting and buying these scale models for over 30 years, literally, I started when I was 2. These models are not inexpensive. I mean, these are $1, but these certainly aren't. And even $1 to a lot of people is a lot of money these days. I mean, it is to me. Everybody's crunching. Everything today is going up in price, except everybody's paychecks. Those are the only thing that aren't increasing. So I tried to give honest and unbiased reviews on whether or not you should buy a model, in my opinion. So, if a model's crap, I'm going to tell you it's crap. And I caught a lot of flack for a model review I recently did. I will not mention it, but it was a machine that's used in agriculture on a brand that's very popular in Great Britain. So that's 2 big, huge clues. And I caught a lot of flack about how I said it was a piece of crap, because it's a piece of crap, period. I mean, mine arrived to me damaged. The functionality was horrible. I tried filming the review 4 times before anything broke during filming the review. And it's a very expensive model. So if it's crap, I'm going to tell you it's crap, period. Take it or leave it. Like me, hate me. Don't care. I'm out here for you guys, and I'm trying to provide the best service I possibly can. Okay, continuing with chat. Lucas, I'm planning to get a couple of 1/64 scale pole barns and utility shed. That would be cool. Sam Saunders, back in the day, the one of those Fords and a truck and trailer combo, probably from 09. Yeah, they made a lot of them in, God, I wish I still had it over here and readily available, because I have it somewhere in my extensive collection that I'm buried under. A lot of truth to that statement, actually. And it was a bottom dump trailer. And I have it somewhere. It is exactly this tooling, but it has the Convoy series trailer, which is pretty cool because it's a bottom dump trailer. And I actually customized it with more realistic wheels and tires. And it's actually pretty cool. Austin Wolf, another new name I've never heard before, so thank you very much for joining me and watching. First opinions on the Ertl 870. Again, don't have it here yet, so I can't tell you. The new one, I do have the new older 870. I know that's confusing. They updated the old 870 with very subtle updates. There's a brand new one coming out, or no, that's the 470. Whatever. I don't have the new one, the 870. That I don't have in my possession yet. I do have one being sent to me as soon as they are available through the John Deere dealerships, because I have a John Deere equipment dealership less than 3 minutes from my house. So that one will be here as soon as they are available. So you can look forward to that video if you are interested in seeing it. I'm pretty excited. I hope that it is going to be better quality and better detail now that all of the John Deere Prestige Series construction equipment models, if you didn't know, here's another tip, are made in the Diecast Masters factory in Hong Kong. So if you have seen an improvement in the quality, detail, and function of Ertl models recently, very recently, now you know why. All right, let's see. I know I missed a bunch. There's a lot of comments, which is great. That's what we want. It looks like there's, unless I'm behind here on time, looks like there's 15, now 17 people in the room. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, a cat excavator evolution set would be cool. Totally agree. Ivory, do you review First Gear much? I do, and DCP. I won't. They're not the company I review the most things for, but there is plenty of First Gear and DCP content on the channel. Just be sure to use the YouTube search and type in Diecast Emporium First Gear or Diecast Emporium DCP, and plenty of search results will pop up. The set that was the Matchbox Ford C900 and hopper trailer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one I had, the bottom dump hopper trailer, and still have. Do you ever sell any models you don't like? Very, very rarely. I will sell some models, but I'm not a dealer. I don't sell models. I don't buy models to resell them. Very, very rarely do I sell some models. But yes, to answer your question directly, yes, I do sell models sometimes, but it's once in a blue moon. Welcome to the coolest channel for model reviews. Well, thank you. That's a nice comment. Daniel Matheson was the review on the JCB Roto telehandler. Maybe. LOS The Spirit. Hey, man, you're one of my favorite YouTube channels. Keep it up. Well, thank you. I appreciate that because there are many days especially when the analytics come in and you realize that absolutely nobody's watching anymore, that I want to hang this up and not spend any more of my free time away from my day job doing this. So I appreciate comments like that. Lucas, how big has your fire truck collection gone? Not much has changed. In fact, I think I added... What the hell did I do with my fire trucks now? Oh, here they are. I think I added one new thing since the last time you saw it. I have not been putting a tremendous amount of effort, obviously, into my fire truck collection. But here's a new one. New to me, anyway. Model's been out for forever. Here is the Seagrave pumper by Boley. This body and this truck is incredibly hard to find these days, and they're very expensive, as a lot of Boley and fire trucks and vehicles are going for nowadays on the secondary market. Don't know why. They're great models. They're highly detailed. They look great in HO scale, which is 1/87 scale. But this body in particular, you can see Seagrave on the back. Hopefully you guys can see that. But this one was very difficult to find. This actually came with a GMC truck, GMC front to it. And what I did was I took that off, I took the interior out, and then I put the interior inside, which is how we got that Seagrave across the windshield, and then put a all-red cab to match the rest of my fire fleet on it. So that's the only thing that has been done to it custom-wise. So there you go. Okay, returning to chat. All right. You don't have to show it if you can't, but what's the heaviest model you have in your collection? I don't have it here, obviously, but bar none, the heaviest model I have in my collection is the TWH Cat 7495 HF electric mining shovel in 150 scale. Absolutely love that model, but that thing is gargantuan, exceptionally heavy. LOS, the Spirit, never stop, bro. Quick question, are you planning on getting some of the Greenlight Fire series? They got some really cool models coming. You know, here's the deal. I would do a lot more with Greenlight if Greenlight would work with me a little bit. And I have reached out to Greenlight a number of times over the past decade, and they flat out refuse to use a valuable asset like myself as an influencer. So do I plan on getting some of the Fire series? Maybe. But I have my arms everywhere else. I mean, I'm doing military models now. Obviously, all the stuff for Caterpillar. I'm doing stuff for other construction OEMs now, mining models, truck models, train models. So I don't have endless fun. It seems like it sometimes, but I don't have endless resources or space or finances to do everything I want to do. If I get any of the Greenlight Fire stuff, it'll probably be the FDNY stuff, just because I collect FDNY 164 scale stuff. That'll probably be it. That, or if they do a fire department that is close to where I live now, which I highly doubt it. All right. Almost dropped the camera. All righty. Thank you for that comment, by the way, of never stop and that you like the videos. I appreciate that. Everyone likes to know they are appreciated no matter what they do every once in a while. All right. What company do you think produces the highest detail despite the cost? Very interesting question. Okay. Let me read that again. Read that again so I make sure that I didn't read what I thought I read, but I read exactly what you asked. Which company do you think produces the highest detail despite the cost? Okay, to me, so that would mean, I'll just put another thing in screen there. So you want to know which company produces the highest level of detail, and cost doesn't matter. Is that accurate? Today, probably TWH, or not TWH, they're out of business. Probably Weiss Brothers or WSI, if you're talking about 150th scale. If you want to go back in the day, or I'm gonna back up a minute. Weiss Brothers or WSI, or if you're into models that absolutely do nothing except sit on a base and you can't take it off, I'll add fire replicas to that. But over all of that, if you want to back up a little bit, as in like a decade or so ago for the most recent one, CCM brass models, by far, best detail. They look the best. Honestly, at a distance, and you have a skilled photographer, you really won't be able to differentiate a CCM brass model from the real piece of equipment. I've been fooled a number of times. For example, when the D9T came out, is it a D9T? God, I'm getting old. Yes, I think it's a D9T. The one that they did 3 versions of. I just reviewed one of them. Good Lord. They put the D9T with a ripper in a quarry setting, and I had no idea it was the CCM one. So if that's your question, if you're asking if money's no option and which is the highest detailed models, CCM, hands down, brass models, absolutely takes the cake. End of story. Okay. Which company? Okay, just answered that question. Daniel, probably the Cat 749 shovel is the heaviest model in the construction. The reason I asked is I wanted to go for quality over quantity. Definitely CCM, definitely Weiss Brothers. Quite honestly, some of the newer Highline series by Diecast Masters, and this is coming from CCM themselves. These are not my words, but I have heard someone at CCM say that some of the new Diecast Masters stuff is just as good diecast quality as some of the recent CCM stuff. So take that for what it's worth. Okay. Why is this camera now wigging out on us? So my stand is having issues. Apologize about that. If you guys want to see anything else, let me know. We've had the same models in the screen for a while now. I know we're approaching 40 minutes here. Do any of the companies ever contact you directly asking about their products? Yes and no. That's a loaded question, and I could do a whole video on that. So most of the time it's me actively, the term in the biz is called prospecting. Usually it's me reaching out to companies saying, hey, listen, I know you've got this model coming out. I would love to do a review on it for you. I'd love to help promote it. How do we make this happen where it's mutually beneficial to both of us? However, there have been a select few times over the course of me having this channel that people have reached out to me, which I tremendously appreciate. And so it works a little bit both ways, but really since Corona, which I hate to turn this into a video where I mention that, but people and companies are not as eager to do extra promotions or bottom line, everybody's just trying to get by, period, end of story. I just read an article last night that inflation here in the United States is hit like a 45-year high at 9.1% in 1 month. That's insane. That's crazy. So, no, it unfortunately it has been rather slow. You couple that with supply and logistics and shipping issues and how long it's taking everybody to get their products in and shipped from overseas. It's not gonna make this a downturn or a negative video. I'm not all about that. I'm here to bring you facts and tell you what's actually happening. So I'm not here to BS you. So when you call somebody and say, hey, listen, I pre-ordered this model or I bought this model a year and a half ago, where is it? And they say, oh, it's coming, you know, whatever. They're BSing you. There's a lot of models that you probably pre-ordered that haven't even left the factory and aren't even done. So sorry to tell you, everybody's short on workers and labor. Supply and logistics are a pain in the butt. It just kind of is what it is. Okay. Let's see. Boy, I'm really behind. I should stop rambling. Good Lord. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so behind on your questions. Noah Pearson, thank you for joining the conversation. You should get Matchbox diecast trucks. They are really cool. You mean like, he must be new. You mean like this? Check out the early part of this video. You'll see several of them. WSI has some of the best, but they're quite expensive. I have some of the Diecast Masters semis, and they're quite nice. Yes, the Diecast Masters Transport Series trucks are very nice, and they are only going to continue to get better because there will be several new licensees coming out within the next year, not only with trucks, but also with different trailers. So if you guys are into that kind of thing, I can't divulge any more information than that because I gave him my word. That's it. I gave him my word, so I'm not going to go into any more information. But you have a lot to look forward to if you like the Diecast Masters trailers and trucks. and if you like licensed stuff and not just generic stuff. Okay, Greenlight's quality control is something that I can't really talk about without using language. Yes, their quality control lately has been horrible. Do I still have? I do still have this over here. You can't see it that well because it's not super. This camera doesn't stream in like 1080i. But this thing had. This is a Greenlight van, for those that may not know. So I tried my best, but this thing, when I got it, was splotched with glue marks all inside the windshield and all inside the driver's side door, the passenger side door. It was horrible. I did my best to try and clean it up, but you can still see a lot of telltale sign here. Try and move it around in the light. But that's just one example, and kind of ironic that I still had that within arm's reach to be able to show you. Okay. Going back to live chat, D9T, that was the exact answer I was looking for. Thank you for considering my question. Of course, anytime. That's what these live streams are for. Zelda says he is back, so thank you. Appreciate you joining the live stream. Have you ever reviewed Greenlight Diecast toys? Yes, Noah, I have for sure. Again, if you look up Diecast Emporium on YouTube, type in Diecast Emporium, and then type in whatever you're looking for right after Diecast Emporium, and it will come up with a plethora of search videos for exactly what you are looking for. That's the best advice I could give you. Why don't you show some Hot Wheels 1/64 scale? Okay, I can absolutely do that for you. Great suggestion. I'm going to show you some of my favorites because they are over here. So these are car culture, easy for me to say, which are the quote-unquote adult collector line. So here's one of my favorites. This is a, I believe a 71 or a 72. 72 Mercedes-Benz 280 SEL 4.5 liter. Here it is. So these car cultures are metal base, rubber tires, metal body, detailed interior, detailed headlights, detailed taillights. This one even has a license plate on it. These are the cars that are going to cost you between $6 and $8, depending on where you are in the States. But in my opinion, it's kind of worth it. You're paying for the quality and the extra detail that are on these. Here's another one of my favorites. This is a Subaru BRZ, which is the exact same thing as the Scion FRS in a Toyota 86. And here's another one of my favorites. This is the Nissan Silvia S15, S13, or S15. Does it say in the bottom? S15. I was right the first time. Well, blind squirrel finds a nut every other day. These are some of my favorites, and it kind of shows you my interest in the car world in general. I need to bring out one more to get this point across. Do I have one over here somewhere? Maybe. Let's see. I just need one. Just one. Where are you? Perhaps. Are you over here? Are you in this one? Yes. Excellent. Okay. Perfect. So this kind of gives you an overview of my interest when it comes to cars. So we have my favorite European car manufacturer, Benz. We have that's not right. See, got me. I just said this was a Subaru. I was assuming that it was a Toyota because it's the exact same car. There we go. That's a Supra. My favorite European car manufacturer, Mercedes-Benz. My favorite Japanese car manufacturer, which would be Toyota. And my favorite American car manufacturer, which would be Ford. So that tells you my general interest in cars. All three of these part of different car culture series. I think in the past few years, actually. These are all relatively recent. This Mustang's pretty sweet. I love the paint job on this. So you guys can take a look at these. I will go ahead and get back caught up with chat here. Thanks for that suggestion, whoever asked. I believe it was Zelda, wasn't it? Yes, it was Zelda. Noah, I have a bunch of shelves full of Diecast Masters trucks everywhere. Good to hear. All right. What model do you mess with the most? Asks the random. Mess with is a loaded question. Is that messed with as in I model the most, display most, do the most videos with, collect the most? So if you wouldn't mind, specify that a little bit. Do I have a Sitku collection? I have less than a handful of Sitku models. I would not quantify that as a collection. All right. In addition to companies contacting you, do they send you a prototype asking you what needs to be done better? I have never had a prototype sent to me with the intention of them asking me what needs to be done better or ask for my feedback. I have had pictures and videos sent to me, and I've been on conference calls and things like that asking my opinion and what could be made better on it. That I have had numerous times, but I've never had a prototype sent to me with the sole intention of, hey, what can we do to make this model better? That is something that I would absolutely love for companies to do more. But I will tell you, at least the Diecast Masters process. So the Diecast Masters process is usually they'll do a computer-aided drawing. Then they'll have a model made, which gets sent over to the CAT approval process. So the CAT approval process will make it, approve it, make sure that everything is fine to scale, works, all that kind of fun stuff. And then usually they will approve it, not approve it. Most of the time they will ask for some subtle changes, which are called tooling revisions. And usually when that's made, the model goes back, gets remade. And at that point, another one gets sent over for Caterpillar for final approval. And once the final approval is made, then the model is then sent over as a finished product to be manufactured in the Hong Kong factory. And then it gets shipped off to the dealers and distributors where you go and buy it from. That is a gross simplification of the whole process, but you get the general idea. All right. Great question, though. That was a fantastic question. Is it easy to find Hot Wheels cases L or N in your place? Or case K? So around my general area, it is almost impossible to find any new, as in the last 3 or 4 cases, of Hot Wheels or Matchbox. So I live in a relatively populous area of Cincinnati. So, and by the time I'm able to go look and spend time and quote unquote hunting, everything's gone, period. I am absolutely convinced that one of 2 things are happening, or both of these are happening. Either the people that stock the shelves are grabbing all the good stuff off and selling them out the back door, or selling them themselves, or collecting them themselves. Or option 2 is that we have designated hours for the older population at a lot of the stores here. So there'll be a couple hours, or usually early in the morning, that they can go before anybody else. And I think that the older collectors are picking everything up. So I really stopped hunting for Hot Wheels in stores a handful of years ago because I would become... It sucked the fun and enjoyment out of finding things, because you're never going to find any of the goods. You're never, ever going to find a Super around. You're never probably going to find a regular treasure hunt around. And if you do find any good case, it's because, you caught somebody at just the right time, and then you have to pallet raid. And I just don't like doing that. I don't like to be that, excuse my French, I don't want to be that asshole that goes over and asks the 16-year-old kid stocking the shelves, hey, you mind if I take this box off the pallet and go through it? I'm just not going to do that. So that's why if there's something that I really, really would like to have, I have James at Diecast. Wonderful company, wonderful guy. And he is who I get all of my Mattel products. In fact, he is who I picked up all 3 of these from. Nice tie in there. And these. And this. And this. From. So that I don't have to spend what free time I have trying to hunt these down to no avail, which I know that I will never find. So I know it's kind of lame and it's kind of cheesy, but I'm going to throw out the pun for Diecast. So if you guys would like anything new, I highly suggest checking him out, jcarddiecast.com. Back to the chat. We are getting close to the hour mark, which I think is about the perfect time for a live stream. So make sure you get your final questions and suggestions in, because I'd like to end around an hour. You guys have been wonderful. So thank you all so very much. All right. Is that Umalta? Am I pronouncing that right? Umalta County Fire Buff. Does the Walters heavy-duty engine and ladder fit in Station 3? My Station 3, I wanted to get it in, but was unsure. if it would fit inside. If you're talking specifically about my Station 3, no, not without some modification, it will not fit. Or you can kind of cut out the bottom of the bay and drop the floor lower, then it will fit inside. Especially the ladder. Like the heavy-duty ladder is the bigger issue. That one won't fit. I just love Hot Wheels since our channel is about video race and run Hot Wheels for a race, bro. That's why we call it Diecast Racing. I got you. No problem at all, man. Lewis, another new name. How many Walthers SceneMasters do you have? I have a ton of Walthers SceneMasters. Actually, we're just talking about a couple of them. I can bring out a couple of them. They're going to be fire trucks because they're right here. Now, I can bring out a couple tractors too. Why not? So let's bring out the aforementioned heavy-duty ladder and the engine that the gentleman was just talking about. So Walthers SceneMaster calls this a heavy-duty engine. It is not a heavy-duty engine. Technically, by definition, this would be a quint because it has a pump, it has a ladder, it has rescue equipment, and has a main aerial ladder, of course. So this is technically a quint. It is certainly not a heavy-duty ladder truck, but this is what they refer to as the heavy-duty ladder with the Spartan cab. And you will notice also that it is basically the same wheelbase and length as the pumper truck or the engine. So there's two of them. If you want to give me just a moment, I will go grab a international tractor or two. Alrighty, here is they literally call this the chassis truck because it's a truck with a cab and a chassis. So you can buy this if you want to do your own back to it. This all pops off. The best thing about these Walthers SceneMaster trucks, which again, for the newcomers, these are all old Boley castings. All of these were released under Boley almost, in some cases, over 20 years ago now. So if you have Boley trucks, and it's all interchangeable, they will all work. They are put together by screws. As you can see, there's a screw here and a screw back here. This screw is actually out. I've already drilled that out, or unscrewed it out, I should say. So they're extremely modular. They're meant to be very customizable. Here's another one. This is a 2-axle tractor, single rear axle tractor. There you go. Again, 187 or HO scale for these. Okay, picking up our speed here. Okay, good Lord, I'm so behind on chat. You guys are awesome. You should start a gaming channel. Honestly, I've thought about it, but I don't do gaming enough to do a gaming channel. And every time I do some gaming, I get so frustrated that I would probably get canceled within the first 35 seconds of my stream. That's not a good look. All right. Do I have a pocket car? No, I don't have a pocket car. Do you kit bash your models? Yes, these actually. I do a lot of kit bashing on. You can look up what video would I suggest you look up of mine that has the most? Look up the Highway Department collection. Look up Diecast Emporium Highway Department collection. You'll see a lot of these that have been kit bashed and have some custom modifications, some 3D printed beds and such. Those are going to be really fun to take a look at. Okay. Greg, thank you for the live stream and always interesting and informative. Would love to see the fire dozer made. I operate a Cat fire dozer, high drive. Good news, Greg. Diecast Masters is making a fire dozer that will be a high drive. If you check out any of my social pages and or the Diecast Masters social page, you will see some photos of it. They are made, they are done, they are in the process of being packaged and ready for distribution. So hopefully, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything else, they will be here by the end of the year, if not the early part of next year. Okay, Noah, how do you get all of the diecast models? Do the company send them to you or do you buy them? Most of them I buy. Most of them I do buy. There are some companies that will send me a few models, but bear in mind, I do absolutely nothing for free. If there are companies that are sending me models for free, it is because I have agreed to do some promotion and video filming and other marketing aspects for them. So by no means at all do I do absolutely anything for free. Christian, he says hello, and Agent Films backs up exactly what I just said. The DM is making a fire dozer. Lewis, do you get your Walthers from a hobby shop? I do. I have Hobbytown USA and a train shop called Entertainment Junction. By the way, another shameless plug. If you are in the Cincinnati area, check out Entertainment Junction. It is a world-renowned location for being the biggest indoor model train display. Check them out. But anyway, both of them do have these Walthers trucks on the pegs. You can also buy them on Amazon or eBay, really wherever anything is sold. I wish they would sell them in stores because they're inexpensive enough that they could easily put these on pegs in stores. Okay. It was nice catching up with you. Have a good one and keep it up. Thank you. You as well. Please make a plug for your vendors because I don't mind paying a bit more to get what I want without jumping through a bunch of hoops and maybe do a behind-the-scenes video. Okay. So my biggest partner, I have several partners. There's really not one that's bigger than the other, so I shouldn't word it that way. If you're looking for construction stuff, I would first steer you towards constructiondiecast.com. That's the construction diecast store. My friend Drew, very small family-owned business. I can't recommend them enough. If you can't find what you're looking for there, you can always go to other model-related places, construction model-related places, such as Ed's Diecast Shed is another good one to shop at. Buffalo Road Imports, another one. DHS Diecast. If you can't find what you're looking for at any of those and you're looking for a very specific model, like Weiss Brothers, for example, always, of course, look at their websites first. So in this case, weissbrothers.us. If you're looking for the new Komatsu models that were just announced, I would look there first. And you can always tell these people that I recommended and referred you to them. I get nothing out of that deal. I don't get a discount or I don't earn a percentage of all the sales. It's just nice for them to know that, hey, my videos are working and referrals are working. Okay, hope that addresses that. Oh, military models. Obviously, smallscalemodels.com. This is something I've just recently gotten into in the past 16, 18 months. If you're looking for anything military model related, check them out. As far as train stuff goes, don't really have a direct train partner. I've been working on trying to get one of those, but they have, I'll be honest with you, trying to acquire a ma and pa train shop partner is near impossible because they are just struggling to get by in a non-existent business sector as it is. So I don't know if that's going to happen. Fire trucks, depends on what you're looking for. Code 3 is out of business, so you can't really go partner yourself with a company that doesn't make models anymore. And yeah, that's really about it. That's really all the partners I really have at the moment. All right. I love the Cat Machine diecast toys. Absolutely. Who doesn't? Did Boley make trailers for them? Boley made a few trailers. Nothing really that great. They made a couple bottom dump trailers, a flatbed trailer. Nothing spectacular. Christian, we're going to bring this video to an end here in a couple minutes. I don't know what specific cat dozer you're requesting that I bring out, but if you're talking about the fire dozer, it's not out yet, so no, I can't bring it out, and I don't have it here. Just going to finish up the questions that we have, and then we will end the video. Will DM make older models like the ones from the Evolution series? If they're not in the Evolution series, I don't think they will make them. There has been some talk about maybe making some older truck models for the Transport series. I don't know. I don't know how far along that is or if that's going to gain any traction, but I certainly would like to see that. You guys can let me know in the comment section once this video gets posted if you would like to see some older truck models made that are a little bit more displayable and don't cost $500 a piece. Okay, did Boley... Okay, I already answered that question. Noah asks, have I watched Top Gun Maverick? Yes, I've watched Top Gun Maverick. There are no hobby shop models for me unless I travel 50 miles. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I would definitely order online then, for sure. Have you done a SceneMaster kit? Asks Lewis. Yes, I have. In fact, here is a SceneMaster kit right here. Again, you can see this review on YouTube. This was uploaded just a couple months ago. So this is the Calmar container crane. This is actually a pretty sweet model. It raises and lowers. You can pick up the 187 scale containers from either a ship to a truck or, more likely, a train to a truck in an intermodal yard. So that is a fun kit and was really fun to build. You can hear that there's ball bearings in the back for weight, so that it's not going to fall over once you have a heavy container on it. Okay, I think there's a couple more questions, and then we're going to end close to on time. What is your favorite sport and song? That's not really relevant. Have you done a SceneMaster kit? Yes. All right, so we're at an hour. That will end. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I really appreciate all of you that have joined me for this live session. I hope I was able to bring some insight and help you guys out, guys and gals out. If you enjoyed this, please let me know down in the comment section below. And most importantly, I know I've said it a few times already, but thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. Thank you for watching the videos. You guys are really the reason I continue to do this channel. So just know that it's really, really appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Until next time, take care, be well. I'll see you in the next video.